Well, hello Internet. We are here once more. There's a tie next to me, for absolutely no reason. And before I even begin, let me open a beer. This is really, really hot in here. Tomorrow is Thursday, and everyone is talking about this Thursday for weeks now because the weather forecast is saying that it's gonna be the hottest ever recorded. But even today, and today is Wednesday, is really, really hot. It's almost maddening. I don't know how certain types of people, how can they work? And when I say certain types, of course, I mean certain professions. Like people working, I don't know, in the kitchen, people working in places where there's no air conditioning. I've had a good day today. Very good. I filled up my calendar, so I have something to do every single day. Some money coming in, so it's good. I'm happy. I went to the park. Well, I wouldn't really call it a park. Like a little green area. I sat down on a bench. Oh my god. About a year ago, I would feel really stupid about this. Going to the park, sit down on a bench, reading a book. A year ago, I would have said, it's a waste of time. But now so many things changed. So I went to the park. I found a bench. And I sat down. I wanted to feel the sunshine on my skin. I was facing the sun. And I read an old book, which is available for free on iBooks. I really like adventures, novels about dangerous missions in a faraway lands, especially those are written in the 1800s. For example, this one I was reading at the park. It was inspired by Zimbabwe, and especially the building that is called Zimbabwe, a mysterious building that has an origin no one really knows about. And I have a certain job that puts me to different places, in different teams, and I work with different people from all walk of life. And basically in 2 weeks time I can meet people from every single country of this planet. And last week I was working with a guy from Zimbabwe, and I showed him this book. Well, it's an ebook, so I gave him my phone and I showed him the cover, and I said, hey, here's a book from the 1800s and it's about your country. But he never heard of it. Well, let me quote something I found interesting. Quote, as for lung sick, which is a dreadful form of pneumonia, very prevalent in this country, they had all been inoculated against it. This is done by cutting a slit in the tail of an ox and binding in a piece of the diseased lung of an animal which has died of the sickness. The result is that the ox sickens, takes the disease in a mild form, which causes its tail to drop off. As a rule about the food from the root, and becomes proof against future attacks. It seems cruel to rob the animal of his tail, especially in a country where there are so many flies, but it is better to sacrifice the tail and keep the ox than to lose both tail and ox. For a tail without an ox is not much good, except to dust with. Quote end. After reading in the park, I was eyeing a pub. It was a small pub, very, very dark. But I really liked it. Sometimes I prefer the nice ones, very bright ones, and sometimes I prefer the dark ones. And obviously, I was reading this book with a very special dark humor in it. So I was preferred at that time a dark, small pub. But it was so empty and unwelcoming, so I just walked past. And after like a mile or two, I kinda regretted it. It was part of the Fuller's franchise, and they have a beer, a honey beer. It's a sweet beer, and when it's so hot, it's quite nice. And when I was thinking about this honey beer, I arrived to the underground station, and there I wanted to take some pictures. And what happened is someone started to shout next to me, and then shouted, and many people gathered around him in a split of a second. And what happened is that he was selling flowers, very, very nice flowers. And because it was the end of the day, he was selling it half price. So maybe I had like 70 different flowers at one point, and after a few seconds he had maybe 4. So by the time I realized what's going on around me, I had a chance to choose a flower from 4 that's left. So I picked up the darkest one, which was blue and purple. And I said, okay, let's buy this one. It was 12 pounds. 12 quid for a flower is not a bad price in this city, because the flowers are so expensive. I remember I bought flower for $5 in New York, and an extremely big flower for $40 in New Jersey. But here, oh my god, everything costs like not everything, all sort of flowers, they cost like 5 times more in here. So it was a good catch. And then I went to a place called Baron's Court. Everyone using their mobile phones to get around in places they don't really know. But this is summer and I have time now, and I'm really, really bored. Utterly bored. So I'm using the maps left on the streets. I like to look at these maps for up to 5, 10, even 15 minutes because I know that in few years time they will completely disappear from the face of the earth. I sometimes even wonder why they still there. But you see, some people are still using it. Like me. I was really bothered about this park. That was not park at all, but the green, small green area. So I wanted to go to a park, a proper park in West London, where I never been before. And I wanted to do it before the sun goes down, because tomorrow, wow, tomorrow is Thursday, the hottest day ever, as it seems. And then I realized that the green area on the map was not a park, not a park at all, but but a cemetery, big cemetery in the middle of West London, in the middle of Zone 2. And I had a big backpack, and I had a huge flower in my left hand. So I stopped for a second to think, do I really want to go there? And I realized that yes, I want to go there. Because who knows what's gonna be tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, or next week. I might be never come back anywhere close here again. It was so strange. Obviously the people can walk around the cemetery, but no. Maybe they wanna save time and they walk through it. Imagine, from home to work, from work to home, or wherever you need to go, and you walk through a cemetery instead of going around it. Definitely, if I had a house, a family, a proper job, I would never ever walk through a cemetery every single day. I would go around it. But here is different. They have they think of this place, I don't know, differently than us in East Europe. There are so many people here, people walking their dogs here, their pets, in a cemetery. And if you look around, you see people you see people without a shirt. They enjoying the sun. People in groups. They chatting. But it's not a park, it's a cemetery. It's so weird to me. And I spent half of my life abroad in different countries, in different cultures. But I never seen anything like this before. Walking a dog in a cemetery. And the other thing, this cemetery looks very unkept. Basically, it's in ruins. Very strange. and there's a hospital next to it. So if you're not enough depressed, if you don't worry enough about your condition, you can look through the window. You can see the cemetery. Oh my god. What a placement. Well, I don't think I'm gonna hang around so much longer. I take a quick look around and then I go. But before I leave this place, I wanna see a church. There's a Hungarian church by the corner. I wanna see it. Well then.